Hey there, just before you jump onto this webinar, make sure you click the subscribe button and also click the bell icon so that you're notified of all future trainings. Now let's get into this one.
Okay, hi everyone. This session will be recorded. It's also available on Facebook now. If you've missed it, we are going to record it separately. So we will have this shared on our help center as well for going forward. Yes, so this is usually the segment that we have for our educator app training. So we do hold this every week, alternating between app training and programming. Today's going to be a little bit different. So instead of doing the educator app training, we thought we'd do the tips and tricks, which we had a presentation on yesterday at our meetup. And unfortunately it wasn't recorded. So we thought we'd just share it here with everyone else. So hopefully if you weren't there yesterday, you get to enjoy it today. So I think I might just start. It's 1:01. So we have people joining slowly. So I'll just keep adding you as you come in. If you do have questions, I am checking the Zoom chat. So just type it there. And if I get a chance, I'll answer it there and then. Otherwise, I'll answer it offline or at the end. Okay, so like I said, today's session's a little bit different. We're going to look at some tips and tricks, which you may already know. And I guess if you do, it's a little refresher. And for those that don't know about it, hopefully it will be something that you can now use and hopefully make your job a little bit quicker whilst you're on the portal. So it is more portal focused today, as opposed to the app. Like I said, whether you know it, it's something that you can use whilst you're on the portal. Before I begin, what I thought I would start with is where you can get, I guess, help or resources before you try and give us a call or before you try and email, because I know at the moment it is difficult when you try and call and you don't get through straight away. So what I wanted to show you initially is hopefully you can see my screen. Yes, hopefully you can see my screen. If you can't, send it in the chat and I'll get it sorted. But where I am now is the portal view. So when you sign in, this is essentially what you would see. It might look a little bit different if your, I guess, your permission levels are not at full admin, but I just want to show you, I guess, generally where you can find certain things. So I'll start with the help center. So you can actually get it obviously through your portal under tutorials. So again, we usually suggest centers to go here first to see if they can troubleshoot the question that they're after. And I know it is very overwhelming, and that's a lot of the feedback that we get, that the help center has lots of information, but they often don't know where to start. So a tip I usually, and this is for myself as well, and I'm on the phone with you guys, this is how I navigate through it. I actually use the search function at this top here. So I know that there are two. There's a search there, but I find this one is the one that generally works the best. So for example, if you're wanting to find out something about the gap waiver, you don't know which part of the help center it is, I usually just use this this search function, and I literally just start typing the word, and it starts populating based on the word, I guess, the help guides that have that word. So here, that's what I'm after. I'll type it in and I'll just click straight onto it and it'll take me to that, that help page. So I thought that was quite a nifty little feature to have, especially when you're on this help center and you don't know where to find certain things. Instead of just calling straight up or emailing, just try using that search function. The other area which is quite handy is this one here. So this OWNA video playlist and tutorials. If you click into there, they actually have it broken down specifically for educators and admins and for parents. So I know a lot of centers calling, asking if we've got guides or, information that we can pass on to the parents. I find this one quite useful as well. So I'll just wait for it to load. Again, it tries to break it up into certain sections. So again, if you need to get more resources for parents, that's another good one to go to. So I'll go back to that page. Whoop, let's go back to the main page. Oh, okay, not taking me there. Let's go back the long way. I'll also show you the YouTube videos as well. That's the other resource. So if you're not a reading guide type person, you prefer watching, this is another handy one. And I'm sure most of you have, if not already, started with the YouTube videos. The other areas that I wanted to mention, I guess, before starting the tips and tricks is the Facebook community that we have as well. So if you're not already on our Facebook group, that's also another handy one to join. I find a lot of centres tend to help each other just by answering queries from each other. So that's another one. If you're not already on that Facebook group, try and jump on that. It's called the OWNA community. And videos like this, the daily training, is also live on the Facebook group there. Okay, so now I'm just going to jump straight into it. So today's training is going to be more about tips and tricks, like I said earlier on. So we only have about 45 minutes, so I won't go through every single tip and trick that we're aware of, but it's just the main things. I guess the first one, it's more opening windows in more than one tab. So a lot of the time, what you'll find is when you're, say, looking up accounts, and you've got a list. Lock myself out. You've got a list of accounts. Often what you'll find is you want to have a look at, say, more than one page. Let's say I don't want to lose this page. You can actually just right click. Say I want to look at the family transactions, but I don't want to lose this information page that I'm on. You can right click it and open it in a new tab. And what essentially that does, it opens up a separate page. So now I've got both open. I've got my transactions open and I've still got my information page open. That's just a little trick, like, yeah, so you can open more than one window. You don't have to keep going back and forth, back and forth. I often find people, they click off of, click here and you lose that page that you're on and then they have to go backwards. So right click, open in a new tab. The next one is control print. So a lot of the time we've got pages that we want to print. And you can actually just print as is using the print button. But if there isn't a print button on that page, you can just use your keyboard, control print or control P, or on a Mac, it'd be command P. And you can print it, you can save it as a PDF. So again, you might have to reformat it to make it fit a certain page, making it, landscape, shrinking it. But at least you have that functionality to print a certain page if you want, and you don't see the print button there. Similarly with finding things, most of our pages have a filter, so you can start typing. And of course, there's nothing that comes up with that, but you start typing. But if you don't find a page with a filter, you can, same thing, go Shift F, or on a Mac, Command F, and you have that little, pop-up finder there, and you can obviously start typing here and things will, populate. The next one is our filters. So what I might do is, a lot of the time we are always on that view all children's page, and it automatically defaults to your current children, so the children that are currently attending your centre. So this filter here allows you to include your starting soon, so kids that are starting later. This one obviously is your current and starting soon. You've got your previous children here, so the ones that have left the centre or deactivated and you now want to reactivate them, they're all under this all previous children. So those ones, a lot of centres are quite aware of, but there are these ones here which are specific. So you can filter for children that are just that are in nappies still, that require a sleep check. This allergies one is quite useful. The allergies and dietary requirements. Sorry, I'm just admitting people in, so I keep clicking off that filter. And as you can see, once you go into that filter, you've got all these other options, and we find it quite handy. So, I'll go into the dietaries one, click Get Report, and again, you can print this off, have it in your rooms, or have it up on the wall so you know which children have what type of allergies. So I thought that one was quite handy. The other one that I find a lot of centres are querying or calling in about is the app add-ons and the configuration. So the current one at the moment is that parents sign in and out. Obviously, because of the environment, we're having a lot of centres getting parents to sign in via their app, and then the educators will confirm the child's sign in or out. Some centres don't want to have that function on. They prefer to have the parent, sign in the exact time on the centre's device. So you can actually go and turn that function off. So as a premium customer, you automatically have that available on your platform. And if you're a freemium, you'd have to pay for all of them, but as a freemium, you would have to pay for it. But as a premium, it's generally all included here. So that parent sign in and out one is under here. So you go to, I'll just show you where it is again, app extras, app add-ons. And like I said, it defaults to having these all switched on as part of your package. So if you don't want to have that parent sign in and out on, you go to this one, click configure, and you just toggle that to off. And once you obviously toggle it to off, that switches off the ability for parents to sign their children in and out. So that's where that one is. And you'll find you can, spend some time just going through this whole section to see what you currently have on, because a lot of the time you're probably not aware of what's included in the software. There's a lot. As you can see, I'm still scrolling. So there's a few things that you can turn off if you don't need them, and a few things that you probably have that you're not aware of. So if you have a chance, just have a look on the add-ons and see what you already have to use. The other one is the configuration, app configuration. So a lot of the time we get queries about, certain setups for posts or certain things that parents can or can't do. And that's where you would go here under app extras in app configuration. You can control certain things for casual bookings, whether you want to turn them on and off. Again, it's more of a time factor. So going in here, having a look around, reading what each of the sections do. But a lot of the time in terms of, I guess, what you want families to see or not see, or educators to be able to do, is in this section. So it's under app extras, app configuration. So I'll just quickly move on to passwords. So this is where, and I know we get a lot of calls around parents not being able to sign in or staff wanting to change their password. So if you've got admin access, you actually can do it from the portal. For staff specifically, you'd go to staff, HR, manage staff, and obviously every staff will have their own profile. You literally click into their name, and you can scroll right to the very bottom and reset their password there for them. I'm just going to, yeah. Same thing with the parents. You go to families, view all carers and guardians, click into a parent, and again, you can reset the password for them down here. Once you reset it, you can email it to them so they have it in their inbox. So these are things that you as a centre can do. You don't have to call through to support to do those things, unless of course you've tried many times and you're still having issues, but that would be the first point to try to reset it on the portal. I'm going to move now to using reporting and exporting, I guess, reports. So a lot of the pages you'll find that there's a little button at the bottom that you can export to Excel. So this is not available on every page, but a lot of the time, more so for the financial side of things. So if I look at, let's get a good example. Let's use a report, like a reconciliation report. I'm just going to run a report here. What you'll find generally with any type of reporting that you're running, it'll obviously give it to you on the screen, but sometimes centres might want to cut certain fields out, use certain columns. There's this export to Excel button, usually at the bottom. And obviously, as it says, you export the data at the top into Excel. And that just allows you to, add some filters, manipulate the data. So just, allows you to pick and choose what you want from that page onto a separate document, Excel. The other one I wanted to show you in terms of reporting is the use of tags. So I know a lot of centres are aware of the tags, so I'll just go through it briefly. And what I mean by tags is you apply and you can group certain children or certain family accounts or certain waitlist forms based on a tag name. So for example, with children, you might have children with asthma and you want to have those children grouped together on a separate report, for example, and you apply an asthma, for example here, asthma tag to those children on their profile page. And what I mean by that is you would go to the child, so you go view all children, we'll just click into any child. And if you scroll down here, there's a tag section. When you apply the tag, what that means is anytime or any screen where you have the tag filter, if I go back to view all children, you've got a tag filter here. You can select that tag, and what it does, it'll just group all the kids with that specific tag, and you can get the report. So if I just run the asthma one again, get report. In this centre, we've only got one child, but if you've got a centre with a few children with asthma or whatever tag you're applying, you can get that report, and then again, you can export it to Excel. It's just a handy little thing to know with the tags if you have groups of children with similar things. So that's children. The family tag. So this is all under centre, by the way, where you're creating your tags. Once you've created them, then you can apply them. So assuming you've created them, you can also tag your families. And what I mean by families is your family accounts. Generally what centres use in this particular one is for families that are billed in different cycles. So you might have your weekly invoiced families, you might have fortnightly invoiced families. So you can't then go and invoice the same invoice period for those, for everyone, because they're on different billing cycles. So in this case, if you're not on automatic billing, so you're manually generating your invoices, what you could do is apply a tag for all your weekly families and a separate tag for your fortnightly families. And what you then do is, similar to the children, you need to go into the account and you just apply the tags there on the account details page. Make sure you click the update, and that way that family, if you go into family/account, you'll see the tags under their name. To put it in use, what you would do is, and I'm using the invoices as an example, it doesn't have to be just for when you're generating invoices, but I'm just using that as an example. When you go to generate invoices, for example, you only want to apply it for your fortnightly invoice families. You don't want to apply invoices for everyone. So that's just an example of how you can use your family tags. You can also run reports as well. So you can sort by your fortnightly invoice, and don't forget to click get report, and it will show you all your fortnight families. Again, you can export as well. Oh no, this one's exporting balances, separate thing. Moving on, we might look at, another good report is under reports. Sorry if I'm jumping around on the portal. I'm trying to get through as much as I can in terms of things that generally people call through but aren't aware of. So hopefully this will help if you're not aware of where these things are. But under reports, if you go to export children parent data, so a lot of the time centres want to know if we can get reports with certain specific children information or parent information. So this one here is only looking at children and parents. I don't believe it includes emergency contacts just yet. Yes, it's only for primary and secondary parents. So this particular area is where you say want to generate a report with just parent emails. I just want to have a list of parent emails. So children here refers to obviously your children information. So I might select my first and last name for my child. And then for my parents, I will select their first and last name and their emails. You click preview report, and that gives me a list of the child's name, the parent's name, and their emails listed. So it depends on what you're after, but this area, which is under reports, and at the very bottom, export children parent data, is where you can run specific reports, I guess, determined by what fields you want in that report. And again, if you scroll to the bottom, you can export that to Excel. Again, if you forget that you've got that page, you can print the page, but you would just have to, manipulate the page to make it look pretty, make it fit on landscape. So yes, export to Excel. And I did mention yesterday at the meetup, these two census reports here. So this is relevant to preschools that require the government funding, and every year, I believe it is, yes, every year they need to provide that census data, or they need to send that census data through in order to get that funding. And I believe for New South Wales it is now, or it's coming up. So if you're not aware of where that is, it's here. So it's under that same area, reports, and then you just click it, and it will populate if you've got your children tagged. What I might do is, so for that report to populate, you do need to have a certain tagging for your children. So I would suggest going to the tutorial for that census report. So if you go tutorials, tutorial guides. And this is for the census reporting for people that have just joined. Again, I don't remember which area it is. And to make it easier, I'm just going to search, and I'll literally just start typing census. And then it will pop up with, that guide, click it. And yeah, this guide will just teach you how to tag your children for that report specifically. So yes, for New South Wales and Queensland preschools that are doing the census report, that's where you would find the census reports there. Okay, moving on. We might just aware of the time. Okay, so let's see where we can move to next. I think the next one I want to look at is families and family and accounts. So I won't go into too much, I guess, detail about CCS and billing. That training's on Tuesdays at 1, but what I want to show you guys is just generally how to navigate this page, or some tips and tricks on what to look for on this page. So if I'm on the phone with a centre and they've got a query around an account, I usually will always start on this page. So I'll always go, okay, cool, go to your families and accounts page, and I'll generally point out, well, clearly you've got your account names on the left-hand side here. You've got any tags that apply to that account showing under there. Under the family column, you've got your children listed and your parents and guardians that have access to the account listed there. For automatic billing and automatic debiting centres, and what I mean by that is you've got it ticked on, so you don't have to go and generate your invoices manually for your cycles. It's automatically set for you. It will show you underneath that family account when your next invoice date is and for what period. For centres that aren't on automatic billing, where that is set up is under CCSS. So I'm going to actually open mine in a new tab because I don't want to lose the page I'm on. So you go CCSS, activate update details, and it's these two checkboxes here. So system to automatically generate invoices. If you tick that on, what that means is you're going to set up your family so that their invoices are run automatically for a period that you set them up to be. Similarly with the debiting, ticking that on means that their accounts, assuming they have a payment method, so that means having a credit card or a bank account on their account, will debit their account automatically, so you don't have to go in and manually click that debit or latest outstanding. So back onto this page, where was I? I was saying here. So here, if you are on automatic billing, underneath the family account details, it will show you when their next when their next invoice will be run. This notes column here is also important for automatic debiting centres. So automatic debiting in the sense that on a specific day or on the same day for all families is when those accounts will be debited, the funds will be taken. If there's no day next to that family account, so for example, this one, there's no day, their account won't be debited. They need to have a day next to it in order to have that amount on the invoice debited. And again, to set that up, you just click into the account, and it's this field here that you need to select for them. Before I forget, if you don't want to, because I know some centres prefer not to allow families to have different debit days, you prefer debiting all your families on the same day, you can switch that option off. So when families are filling in their DDR form, there's an option for them to select their preferred debit day. So you can select that function off. I'll just show you where that is. It's under CCSS. Sorry if I'm going quickly. CCSS under activate update details. There's a tick box here that allows parents to choose frequency and billing days. Obviously, having it on means you're allowing them to choose their own days. If you switch that off, they won't have that option to select a day when they're filling in their form. And what that means is you can just select the day that you want all your families to be debited on. Let me just scroll to the bottom of this page. I just want to quickly show you again, this is for centres that are on automatic billing and automatic debiting. If your families are all on the same automatic billing period, you can do it here. So you don't have to individually go to each account and set it up. Similarly with the debit date. So if you've ticked that function off for your families, you can just do it here and it will apply to all your families. The other area I wanted to show you on this page was the deactivating families as well. So when when the child's left the center and you've balanced the account, so the balance is 0, you've returned the bond, you can just deactivate them here. So we get a lot of calls about how do we disable the family or deactivate the account. If you don't deactivate the account, what happens is you're generating like blank invoices if you're on automatic invoicing. The other one I find on this page is this balance date field. So this balance date field is essentially allowing you to choose a date that you want to see your family accounts at. So if I picked today and you click update family balances, it'll show me in this column as of today what that family balance is. What we generally or recommend is to balance this date to where your invoice ends so that the families see up to that day, because what you'll find is a lot of families calling and saying, why is my balance different to my invoice? And what I mean by that is if I go to my invoices, so this is a dummy site, so I'm not sure what the invoices have been set to. Let's just assume, what are we now, March 10? All right, let's just assume the invoices for this center are all up to March the 6th. What you would do is you would want to balance these up to March 6th. And what that means is families will see their family transactions up to that date. Sorry, just got a missed call. And it'll agree to that number or that balance that they see on their invoice. So it just reduces the number of calls that you get from families wondering why this balance doesn't agree to what they see on their app. So just keep in mind that whatever date you put here is what the families can see up to. So you could, in theory, do it all the way to the end of the year and update the balance, and they'll see all their estimates and all their charges. But you, again, probably wouldn't want to do that. Okay, what else can I say on this page? Let's see. CCS. I don't know if we've got a chance to go through CCS stuff. Let me just have a quick look to see if I've got access on this at the moment. Actually, I might just go through that really briefly. So what I'm about to go through is about the CCS enrollment setup. So a lot of the time we get some questions around what effective date to put in there. So in theory, what you can do is for children that are starting soon, so have not yet started, you can actually set it or make it effective today or earlier so that it's ready for when they actually do join or when they do start their attendance. You could do it on the day that they join, but what that means is you would assume the parent would have to confirm the enrollment there and then, but you don't know if that will, if their entitlements are confirmed with Centrelink, and you don't want to delay any CCS payments if you can help it. So that's why we generally say with kids that are starting soon, you can put the effective from today. It doesn't mean the child's starting today. It means that you're just creating the enrollment today. They don't actually start till they physically attend, and you submit sessions for those attendances. It's just explaining that also to families when they see that date, when they go to confirm the enrollment. Whilst I'm on this page and I'm on the child's profile page, anytime we generally get CCS enrollment questions, what I try and generally, troubleshoot is I check these 3 fields. So usually you'd need an enrollment ID or a CRN. If there's no enrollment ID, I would check the enrollment status first. Obviously this is a dummy site, but if they had previous enrollments, they would be listed here. And when I say previous enrollments, they may have had one previously, but it's been ceased. So they've left the center, or, they haven't shown up for 14 weeks and the system's automatically ceased them. When you see ceased as a status, you don't need to create a new enrollment. What you do there is, assuming the primary carer, so this carer on the first line is the same person claiming the CCS, the enrollment ID will be the same. The CRN obviously will be the same. You effective it from when they're, recommencing their care. And it's this one here. So if you see ceased, you're reactivating a ceased enrollment. So you would need to select yes here. A lot of the time, probably 90% of the time, the centres forget to select the yes for the reactivating a ceased. And then you just click, I think it says update enrollment, not create new enrollment. But those are for the ceased enrollments. So I find this one quite handy, that link there. Like I said, this is a dummy site, you can't see anything, but it will give you a bit of a history as to what's happening with the child's enrollment. And it will show you once the parent's confirmed it, or if the parent needs to confirm it, it'll say pending confirmation. Was there any questions? Sorry, I've been talking this whole time. You can put it in the chat if you do have questions, and that way I can respond. If I see, I'll just make sure I've got it open. Yeah, I've got it open. Okay, what else can I show you guys as a tip? Oh, I know, posts. So this is more around highlighting more than one child. So I'm using posts as an example, but this applies to all areas of the portal where you want to, highlight more than one child that's in a list. So what I'm saying here is, this also occurs in the session reports, I find, when you're updating session reports for more than one child. So instead of having to do it one by one, you can actually click onto the one child, hold down the, sorry, I'm on a Mac, so for me it's the command key. On a regular PC, it will be the control key, or the shift, probably, shift. And then you can highlight, kids that are not in the same order, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm not explaining myself very well, but yes, this is more for session reports and posts where you've got more than one child, and you only want to select those two kids. You highlight the first one, hold down the shift or command key, and highlight the other one. So that's another one I find when people don't realize they could do that there, it's, wow, a nice tip. Just thinking what else there is whilst I'm here. We've done passwords. Audit summary and reconciliation report. Okay, so what I might show you quickly, it's under families, reconciliation report. I'll just generate it first. Okay. Actually, I don't know if I can export it. Sorry guys, just give me one sec. Okay, actually I might not go to that one. Okay, sorry, I'm just going to read this question. How can we customize the training tab in staff documents section? So I'll just go. Sorry, Georgia, can I just clarify the question? Are you talking about training, or are you talking about documents, as in staff training? Sorry, guys, the question was, how do we customize staff documents? Whilst I'm waiting, I just want to show you under center info, if your center is, sorry, not center info, silly, CCS, activate, update details. No. Sorry, what I'm trying to show you is when your center is closed due to flooding or COVID, why have I not? What is here? Sorry, guys. Need to look for where it is. Service details. Here we go. Okay, so sorry, as I was saying, if your centre is closed due to flooding or COVID reasons, and you need to report that through to Centrelink, you do need to do that under CCSS service details. If you scroll down to service temporarily closing, just put in your reasons there and then update through to CCS. Okay, I'm just going to reread the question. Sorry, guys. I might answer that separately, Georgia. Sorry, guys, I'm just reading the chat as I'm trying to navigate through the portal. I'll answer that separately for you, Georgia. Was there any other questions, guys? I'm sure there's plenty of other tips and tricks. Oh, hi, Bronwyn. Hi, Bronwyn, for joining. I'm just about to finish off. I just wanted to, yeah, so sorry, the aim of today was really just to show you little tips and tricks that, that you can use as you're going through the portal. I'm sure there's many more, and I'm sure you guys have more that I haven't shown today. But these were the ones that we showed at the meetup yesterday. So hopefully it's been something new that you haven't already known about. And if you do, I hope it's a little bit of a refresher. And I'm sure I've missed something, but that's why we've got these weekly training sessions. So yes, I have recorded this. This is recorded. It's also available on the Facebook OWNA community group. So don't worry if you've just joined. We'll have this available for everyone on the Help Center under the videos as well. So thanks everyone for joining. Hopefully we'll get to see you guys soon. Bye guys.